In this video, I'm going to be talking about my opinions on the UK's entry for this year's Eurovision Song Contest, which is Eins, zwei, drei by Look Mum No Computer. I can't believe I'm saying that sentence out loud, but this is the world we live in, I suppose. I'm going to be talking about what I think is good about this entry and the parts of it that do have potential, and also the potentially bad things that could end up holding it back. And since we love positivity on this channel, I'm going to start with what I think are the good things. So first of all, I think the song is very catchy, and the televote love catchy songs. So, I don't think we're going to get 0 points from the televote. I don't think that's going to happen. If it does, then we might as well just give up at Eurovision because we've tried literally everything at this point. I think the televote could like this. I'm not saying it's going to win, but, I'd say like low 50s maybe would be decent. It'd be decent for us anyway. In Sweden, it would be considered a national disaster, but, we're not Sweden. We're not up to that level yet. So I think low 50s would be pretty good. We've got a good staging director. You can see that down there as well. He's done the stagings for lmao. I think he did Monzomolo Heroes as well. Both very memorable stagings, and we'll see what happens there. The sheer amount of wacky equipment that Look Mum No Computer has, I think could definitely come in handy. He's got all the synthesizers and a Furby organ and whatever. I think if we see some of those incorporated on stage, that could be cool. It'd help us connect with him a bit more and kind of get a general idea of his vibe. I think the song stands out, not in the sense that it's a televote bait entry, because as you'll see in a minute, there's quite a few televote bait entries, in my opinion, this year. But we don't really have like slightly dated synth in the competition really this year, do we? And we also don't have that much German. I mean, we've got some in Lithuania's, some in Austria's. And so, we've got that going for us, I guess. Maybe the Germans will like it. I don't know. It's a different kind of vibe to the other entries, and it's not like stands out like a bleeding finger in a white room, but it's decently memorable, and I think some people will remember it by the end if the staging works, and I'll get onto that in a minute. The lyrics are pretty simple, I would say. I mean, the chorus is just repeating Eins, zwei, drei over and over again. My only potential concern with that is Sam has a very thick British accent. So, I mean, unless they decide to go down the Lucio Corsi route and put a bunch of subtitles on the screen, some might find it a little difficult to understand, although I feel like that's quite subjective. To be fair, the British accent is one of the most difficult to understand among the world. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. If we get 0 points because of that, it would be one of the funniest things to ever happen at Eurovision. Apparently, ORF, the Austrian broadcaster, have stated that they are not going to mute the live audience this year like they did last year. I say they, like the Swiss broadcaster did last year. So this song does have like a call and respond type vibe where it's like Eins, zwei, drei, and then the other lyrics. So like if we can hear the audience chanting Eins, zwei, drei, that would really help. It would add to the vibe. It would help people at home be like, okay, the public really like this. I'm starting to really like this because the audience are really gelling with it. I might go ahead and vote for this. And that's again just a potential thing. Basically all the things I'm saying, I'm not saying they're going to happen, but like there's a chance that they could happen, and that's a good thing. And the lyrics as well, back to that, the lyrics are a bit nonsense, but the start when he's talking about being in a 9-to-5, he doesn't want to be in a 9-to-5, he just wants to break out of it and go to Germany or whatever. Like, a lot of people can relate to that. A lot of people work in 9-to-5s nowadays and they don't really like doing that. I don't myself, but I imagine it's not a very nice experience. The audience could relate to that, and he's bringing a bit of humour into it as well. It's very British humour, and not everyone gets British humour, so that could be an issue. But those who do get it, I think, could enjoy it, and I think the lyrics will help the audience connect with it a little bit more. Okay, so that's the good of the song. Now we're going to get to the bit that I'm assuming a lot of you are watching for, the bad. So the bad starts with this is not a jury song. The juries are not going to like this at all. I don't think we're going to do as bad with the juries as we did with Embers. Obviously, we got plumb zero from the juries with Embers. I don't think that's going to happen, but we're definitely not going to get like top 10 juries like we did or almost did last year. I still can't believe they put us any higher than Remember Monday. But anyway, that's a story for another day. I don't think the juries are really going to like this. It's not the biggest song in terms of music production, vocals, diversity, anything like that. It is kind of straightforward and simple, but there's a potential for the juries to appreciate the staging at least. I think that's really the only thing they'll appreciate with it, because it doesn't really like change direction that much, the song. There's no key change in it, which the juries love a key change, I must say. So I think if the juries are going to give us any points, it will probably be for the staging, unless they want to go wildly risky in the jury show and do something completely different to the show that we all see. That could happen. They do that sometimes in Eurovision, and if they do that, then maybe the juries will appreciate it a little bit more. But other than that, I just can't see the juries taking to this as much as the public might. I do think, back to the televote thing, there's a lot of songs this year that could potentially win the televote or do really well with the televote already. Like you've got Greece, Sweden, Finland, Moldova. We've got a lot of competition in that field, and we've gone for the televote definitely this year. So, it's a bit tricky to kind of navigate through that. It seems like we've picked a year to try and appeal to the televote. We've done it in completely the wrong year, because there's a lot of songs this year that appeal to the televote, some of which are also pretty catchy, like Sweden, like Austria. I say Austria. Austria is not going to win the televote at all. It's probably going to come last, like Greece. And I just don't think we're going to beat them at all. Our song is not as good as Sweden or Greece, and that's just a fact, unfortunately. Now, I haven't seen that many performances of Look Mum No Computer. I'm pretty sure he's more of like a electronic DJ and stuff than he is a singer. And of course, I don't think we've had a Eurovision winner in a long time that's had a pretty bad vocal. So it's a tough one, because again, that could affect how well we do with the juries. As I say, it's not a jury-made song at all, and I don't know how good this guy is in live performances. So we'll just have to kind of hope that he's got something planned that will help. But other than that, I'm just kind of uncertain about that at the moment. Going back to the whole jury's public thing, there are some songs this year, and quite a few, that appeal to the juries and the public all at once. Like Sweden, for example, they've got great staging, but the song's also catchy. So I think the juries and public will like that. And Finland, obviously, Finland's the best example of that. The public will definitely like it. The juries are going to eat it up. I would say France, but I think the public are just going to get tired of opera songs now. I don't think they're going to vote for France that much. Czechia, potentially, the juries might like it. I forgot about Czechia's entry completely, if I'm going to be honest. So, yeah, we've gone for one metric only, and that's the public. But there's entries this year that have gone for multiple metrics. So, yeah, that could be a problem. The song is quite repetitive. It doesn't really go anywhere. I mean, it changes a bit in the final chorus. It sounds more like a football chant, but as I said earlier, the song is really just him repeating eins, zwei, drei over and over again. If you like that kind of stuff, then, go ahead and vote for it. I wouldn't mind that. But some people might get a little bit annoyed of it by the end. They'll be like, okay, how many more times is this dude going to say eins, zwei, drei? Like, we've had enough of it now. Again, that's just a potential thing that might happen. It's not guaranteed, but there's a chance that might happen. This is a song that could be made or broken by its staging. It's very reliant on the stage in this, because, we've had catchy songs in the past that have just been catchy songs, but the staging's not been that good, and so they haven't done as well. You've got Austria in 2022. That was Lumix, wasn't it? The staging for that really wasn't that good at all. We do need good staging, and like I said earlier, there's a lot of potential with the staging, and so I don't want the BBC to kind of mess that up, because there is definitely staging potential with this, and I just hope that they get it right. Now, this is quite an interesting one. So, during the build up to Eurovision in like April, late March, May, so kind of like the period we're in now, the UK are really quiet during that period. Like, we get a little bit more stuff, we get a few teasers of rehearsals and stuff. We never really get any of that from the UK. They're always a bit quiet. And so, some people may end up forgetting about it, like I did with Czechia's entry a minute ago. There's still like a chance that some people will listen to it enough that it gets stuck in their head and they can't forget about it. And then it could be annoying. So, there's silver linings, but then there's also problems. It could end up being forgotten because, the UK just don't really do anything in the run up to Eurovision except release the song and hype the living daylights out of it. Again, if we end up getting 0 points because of that, it would be hilarious and just a giant middle finger to the BBC, which is something that I think they really need right now. So, yeah, that's my opinions on the UK's entry for Eurovision 2026. If I had to predict what place we're going to come, I would say 15th is a goodish prediction. 15th or like 17th, I don't know, something like that. We're not going to come dead last. We're not going to get 0 points from the public. We're actually going to do decently this year, I think. So those are my opinions. If you agree with them, then cool. If you don't agree with them, cool. Say what your opinions are. And yes, this is on PowerPoint because I'm not asked to like edit it properly and all that. So I'll see you in the next one. I just did a new song called "Take Me to the Tropics." If you want to listen to that, go ahead. And I'll see you in the next video.